This is 15 minutes of useless COD Zombies information. You all know how this works by now, so I'm not going to waste any more of your time. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you're new, you know, all that good stuff. And with that being said, let's jump straight into the useless information. Actually, hold on, there's one more thing I gotta address. This really should go without saying, but I got a few comments about it, so let me just address this real quick. My 10 minutes of useless COD Zombies information series is different from my one useless fact about every Zombies map series. They are two different series, so naturally, there might be a few repeats across the different series. Alright, that's all I gotta say. Useless information time, let's go. In Origins, if two people stand on both sides of this pillar in the spawn room and shoot each other, you can do this insane jitter fire glitch. It'll jitter fire just about any gun in this map. Pistols work, shotguns work, and my favorite is doing this with the ray guns or the staffs. I feel like this was pretty well known back in the day, but not many people talk about it anymore, so if you remember this, you're an OG. In BO3 Moon, if you crouch here in Tunnel 11 and look behind the stairs, you'll see parts of the map will disappear. In most zombie games, you'll melee faster if the gun you're holding is out of ammo. In Blood of the Dead, if you spam your shield button while holding a gun with the gold camo on it, when you pull back out your gun, the gold will be really shiny. I actually quite like this. On Buried, you can fly your friends with the Paralyzer. In Water Ward, Nocturne, and Totem, the power-ups don't have a logo and instead just show a timer counting down. In Water War and BO1 Zombies, the dogs have a special attack animation if you are prone. For some reason, Treyarch removed this attack with Black Ops 2, and we have yet to see it return. But speaking of dogs, although a completely different one, if you use Turned on a Plague Hound in Cold War Zombies, you can walk up to the dog and pet him. Speaking of the Plague Hounds, when Cold War Zombies first launched, they had a pretty annoying bug where they could change their lunge trajectory mid-attack. So for example, they could lunge around a corner and hit you. This was a really annoying bug, and to make it even worse, this was in the game for pretty much Cold War's entire life cycle, because they didn't patch this bug out until the time Forsaken released, a full year later. That's insane. How did this go a full year without being Oh, yeah, that's right. Verrückt, Carrier from Exo-Zombies, and Dead of the Night from BO4 are the only zombie maps to have two different spawn rooms. Speaking of Verrückt, in Black Ops 3 Verrückt, you can use Anywhere But Here to teleport to the other spawn room. In the game files for Die Rise, Who's Who is called Chugabud. Getting revived with near-death experience will rearrange your perk order. On Origins, you can get the G-Strike grenades by using PhD Flopper if you pull your shield out right before you hit the ground. Now I guess technically this could be helpful, but why do this when you could just do the same thing with your staff? When Kino der Toten first came out, you could originally reload the Thunder Gun whenever you wanted to. Obviously nowadays, you can't reload it unless it's out of ammo in its clip. On the back of BO2's disc cover art, the transit bus is facing the opposite direction from the way it should be. In Shadows of Evil, if you exit beast mode while holding the meat wagons, you'll get this weird spark on your gun. This spark is the zap effect from the beast mode. I don't know why this happens, as far as I know it only happens with the meat wagons, but if you know of any other guns that do this, let me know in the comments. On The Beast from Beyond, any zombies that walk past this lamp in the theater will reveal their body paint. It's a cool little detail. When you prone under perks in Derice, you will get a free 25 points. This is the only map to have this all the way until Origins came out in Black Ops 2. Since Origins, it's been in every single Zombies game, but with that being said, there are 4 perk machines in BO3 that you cannot prone in front of to get free points. 3 of those perks being Mule Kick on Zetsubo, Mule Kick on Shangri-La, and the perk that spawns in the Power Room on Shang as well. Now you can't prone to get points on any of these because they are all in water, and you can't prone in water for some reason. The 4th perk that you cannot prone under to get free points is the 2nd perk that spawns in Area 51 on Chronicles Moon. So you can prone in front of Speed Cola at the beginning of the game, but when you go back and it's Jug, you won't get points for it. As many people know, Ultimate Dempsey breaks the 4th wall a lot in COD Zombies. But on Alpha Omega, there's actually another character who breaks the 4th wall.
You answered the call of duty, wink wink, and you paid the price!
On the Wii version of Kino der Toten, there was an AUG wall by in front of the turret. I really wish this was in other versions of BO1 because the AUG is one of my favorite guns to use in BO1, and if it was more available, I feel like I'd play this game more. The Ragnarok DG4s on Der Eisendrache last twice as long on last gen than they do on current gen. Give it up for last gen Der Eisendrache, everybody. When Ancient Evil first came out, you could originally place the Pegasus Strike while you were moving. But for some reason a couple months after release they changed it to where you have to stand still when you're placing it. On the Darkest Shores Easter egg, there is a step where you have to escort a boss around the map to grab different perks. Well, when you first start the step, he will slowly walk around the map, but after you grab stamina up, he will jog around the map. You gotta love little details like this, even if it's on the abomination of a map that is the Darkest Shore. Alright, I got a crazy Easter egg that I guarantee nobody watching this video knows. Did you know about the purple meatballs and purple keeper Easter egg on Shadows of Evil? These are secret enemies that you will only see after doing a very specific couple of things. First off, when unlocking Pack-a-Punch, you have to place the gate worms down in the order from the left one first and then place the rest counterclockwise from there. After you unlock Pack-a-Punch, you need to do the rest of the Easter egg up until the Shadow Man boss fight. You again have to interact with the gate worms in the same order that you did when unlocking Pack-a-Punch, and after you do that and fail to trap the Shadow Man a time or two, purple meatballs and purple keepers will start spawning. I have no clue why these are even a thing, let alone why they have such a specific trigger. So if you have any theories as to why these are in the game, or even if you flat out know, leave a comment down below. When BO3 Zombies launched, some things looked a little bit different. When BO3 launched, originally the shield icon looked like this, but when Drak came out, they changed it to have a health bar and look like this. Additionally, the Annihilator on the Giant used to be orange on the HUD, but was later changed to this lightish blue color. And finally, the Raygun's tube was white on release, but they later changed it to how it looks today. Speaking of the Raygun, the tube is normally blue on Black Ops 2, but in Buried and Origins, it's green. On Tagged or Toten, you can use the level 2 sword to jump this cliff, and you can also use it to dash up the ice slide. Before Zombies Chronicles even released, the Zombies YouTubers were flown out to Treyarch to get early footage for it.
Oh god, no, you're not supposed to see that. You were not supposed to see that. Why did that just happen?
One of the YouTubers flown out was Codename Pizza, who at that time was doing a myth-busting series. When he was flown to Treyarch to get early Chronicles footage, he used this as a time to record early myth-busting episodes for every single Chronicles map. Well, during this, Pizza found out it was possible to stop the rockets from blowing up the Earth on Moon. Now this is pretty cool, but I have an even crazier clip to show you. He also found out that you could actually freeze the robots on Origins. This looks absolutely insane, just seeing the robots stand above you. But the reason I keep talking in past tense here is because Treyarch hated Codename Pizza and Killing Time, because when they saw him do this at Treyarch, they made sure to patch both of these out before releasing Zombie Chronicles. So this footage that you're seeing right here is the only footage of this that exists. You know, when you look at it, it kind of makes sense why they didn't bring back Killing Time in BO4. If you enter Garak Krovi's boss fight without Quick Revive, Nikolai will instantly kill you. Even before the dragon spawns, which he shouldn't be able to do normally, he will still just insta-kill you. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you drop a like. 1,000 likes and I'll make another useless information video. Also, while I got you here, I released a video beating the Voyage of Despair Easter egg with a one-hit down. And with Modern Warfare 3 releasing, I feel like it got a little lost in the YouTube algorithm, so I'll put a card on the screen right now and a link at the end of the video so you can go watch it. It's a really good video, so even if you don't like Voyage, you'll still be entertained by it, so go watch it. Alright. Back to the video. On Alpha Omega, you can't enter codes into Rushmore while he's talking. On Blood of the Dead, if you try to buy the gondola with no points, your character will start talking and you won't stop saying gondola quotes until you either get a kill or step off the gondola.
At last, a moment alone to think. Imprisoned against mine will. Betrayed by mine alternate self. The chronorium. The blood. Bad idea. Existential dread. Don't shake the gondola! Are you insane? Oh, that's just me.
On BO2 Origins, the Iron Fist melee animation will override the staff melee, but on Black Ops 3, the opposite is true. In the BO3 multiplayer map Combine, you can find the zap guns from Moon in this house. It's really crazy looking back at it because Combine was a beta map for BO3. So Treyarch from before even BO3 came out were hinting at a Zombies Chronicles. There's another multiplayer map in BO3 with a Zombies Easter egg as well. As in the DLC 1 map, Splash, you can find the Primus statues here. Really don't know why they're on this map, doesn't fit it at all, but whatever. There's also a few maps in BO4's multiplayer that have some really cool Easter eggs as well. So first off, there's a map called Remnant, which is basically a COD Zombies museum. In this map, you can find the bus from Transit, the dentist chair from Verrückt, the Titanic from Voyage, the MPD from Moon, the blocks from Shadows of Evil, along with a lot more cool Easter eggs. There's also some really cool Chaos lore in this map as well if you care about that. But my all-time favorite Zombies multiplayer map is Der Schatten. This map is based off the town on the ground, way out in the distance of Der Eisendrache. This is such a cool map that I highly recommend that you explore one day because there are a lot of cool Easter eggs in this map, including hearing Primus dialogue near the tram.
Richtofen, what'd you say to piss him off? Dempsey, pay attention! We need you alive! And shooting! Whatever may come next. At least we have made it this far.
And the actual castle from Der Eisendrache in the distance. A much less detailed version of the castle, but a castle nonetheless. A lot of people know how you can completely ruin everyone's game on transit, but did you know you can also do the same on Beasts from Beyond? On this map, there is a side quest to unlock Double Pack-a-Punch. To do this quest, you have to grab a brute head and place it on the cardboard cutout. Well, it turns out that you can actually take this head wherever you want, and you can hide it from everyone else, completely ruining the match in the process. Craig Houston, the lead writer for COD Zombies, said that Alpha Omega had over 5,000 voice lines recorded for it.
When you take on an experience like Blood of the Dead, like Classified, you're generally talking about how many lines of script?
From 2,500 is probably an average. For Alpha Omega, it's actually about 5,500 lines. So when you've got Primus and Ultimus running around together in the same map, any combination of different foursomes, you know, it's fun to see how they react to each other and how they reconcile their various differences. So
on BO4 Zombies, the Chaos and Ether stories had separate Bowie knives. Here's the Ether one, and here's the Chaos one. There is a lot of really cool cut announcer lines in COD Zombies. So first off, on Mob of the Dead, there's cut announcer lines for every mobster except Al.
Carpenter, double points, insta-kill, max ammo, kaboom, fire sale.
Carpenter, double points, insta-kill, max ammo, kaboom, fire sale.
Carpenter! Double points! Insta-kill! Max ammo! Kaboom! Fire sale!
And also, in Revelations, there's cut announcer lines for both the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty.
Carpenter, double points, insta-kill, kaboom, fire sale, minigun, bonus points.
Carpenter, double points, insta-kill, max ammo, fire sale, minigun, bonus points.
Last time I did a 15 minutes video, I went over every single Zombies map and gave you the translation in English for all of them, and you all really enjoyed that. So I thought I'd try something similar and tell you when every single perk in Zombies history was introduced. So first off, obviously, Juggernaut, Speed Cola, Quick Revive, and Double Tap 1 were all introduced in Verrückt. Keener der Toten introduced us to the new version of Quick Revive that allows you to revive yourself on solo. Ascension gave us two new perks, the first being Stamina, and the second being Call of the Dead brought us one of the best celebrity crews in Zombies history, as well as one of the worst perks in Zombies history, that being Deadshot Daiquiri. And contrary to what some BO1 fans will tell you, Mule Kick was not introduced in Kino. In fact, it was first added to Moon and was later added to every other Zombies map. Transit gave us Tombstone and Double Tap 2, no more of that Double Tap 1 garbage. Die Rise gave us Chuggerbud, and Mob of the Dead gave us Electric Cherry. And real quick, fun fact about Electric Cherry, it's actually a play on words. If you phonetically remove the E, you will get Electric Chair, or Electric Chair, being a play on the electric chairs on the Golden Gate Bridge. And the final perk introduced in BO2 was on Buried, and that map introduced Vulture Raid. This perk needs to come back. I'm not talking about just certain parts of it or nothing, no. The whole perk needs to come back. The perk icon, the perk effects, the perk machine, the perk jingle, everything about it is just perfect. And that's a fitting transition for the next perk introduced, which is on Shadows of Evil, that being Widow's Wine. Now, even though this is one of my favorite perks in Zombies, it really sucks this is the only perk introduced in BO3. But Jason Blundell heard our complaints about this in BO3 and didn't leave us hanging in BO4 because Black Ops 4 launched with 17 new perks. On launch for BO4, we got Bandolier Bandit, Deadshot Dealer, being a rework of Deadshot Daiquiri, Death Perception, Dying Wish, Electric Burst, which, you guessed it, is a rework for Cherry, PhD Slider, Secret Sauce, Stone Cold Stronghold, Time Slip, Victorious Tortoise, and Winter's Wail. Whew. That was a lot. But that's not it for BO4, as with the DLC season, we got 4 more perks. Dead of the Night gave us Ethereal Razor, Ancient Evil released with Zombshell, the worst perk of all time was released with Alpha Omega, and Blaze Phase came with Tagger Totem. And finally, in Cold War Zombies, they added Elemental Pop with D-Machine, and the new Tombstone Soda with Firebase Z. They added the new Mule Kick with Mauer, the new Death Perception around a month later, and finally they released a new version of PhD Slider in Forsaken. And that is the history of COD Zombies perks. Hope you enjoyed it. On Mob of the Dead, you can collect the drops through the locked cells with the Hell's Retriever, but for some reason they patched it on Blood of the Dead. Before Zetsubo no Shima came out, then Zombies director Jason Blundell did an interview with Mr. Waffle Waffles, and in this interview he legitimately blinked a message in Morse code. His message translates to, quote, "Do not put the 115, contact doctor, I don't wanna, trust me Sam, I am the doctor." I know this sounds absolutely insane to the average person, but weird things like this is what made the Zombies community so much fun to be in for the longest time, and if I'm gonna be honest, I miss these days. I do. In Moon, Optimus Richtofen says this.
Oh, Dempsey, I think I can see your house from here. It's on fire!
And on Classified, when traveling to Groom Lake for the first time, Richtofen will reference that quote.
Oh, I can't even see Dempsey's house.
In Revelations, when going from Mob of the Dead to Origins, there's a small section of the map that reminds a lot of people of Buried, but there's still a lot of people that want to say that this isn't Buried. Well, if we no-clip inside of this zombie spawn, we can find a sign that says Living Stone Mine. If you know Buried, then you should know that this is the same sign that's in the spawn room of Buried. So yes, this is Buried. Sometimes when using the fishing net on Blood of the Dead, it can have a drop in it. And finally, in Garad Kirby's outro cutscene, when it first launched, there was a pretty funny glitch that would happen. Before Optimus Nikolai shoots Primus, when he would raise his MR6 at him, for a few frames it would change to the KN-44 for some reason. This was later fixed, but it's still pretty funny. And there was your useless COD Zombies information. What was your favorite in this video? Let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and go watch me beating the Voyage of Despair Easter egg on realistic difficulty. Like I said, even if you don't like Voyage, it's still a really entertaining video that you will enjoy. I guarantee you. Thank you all so much for watching, and with that being said, this is Joltz, signing out. Peace!